This timer started the moment you began watching this video. And these are the UPI transactions happening since then. By the time you finish this video, India will have processed more digital payments than some countries do in an entire day. Every second, about 7,000 Indians are sending money to each other. For free, no charges, no fees, nothing. But here's what nobody is asking. If all these transactions are free, who is actually paying for them? And if you had to pay for them, would you pay for UPI?
Probably no.
No.
No, I won't use UPI. Yeah.
No, if UPI was chargeable, I would not use it.
No, I would prefer cash.
No, I already give enough taxes, so.
Nah, I think I'd rather use cash.
In the next few minutes, we are going to show you what's exactly happening behind the scenes, who is bleeding the money, and if they can do it forever. Hi folks, you've tuned into FinShots TV. We are a part of 0-01 network, and together we plan on bringing you stories that impact your day-to-day lives, sometimes without you even realizing it. So don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Alright, let's take it from the top. Let me actually give you a breakdown of what happens behind the scenes when you use UPI for payments. I just bought a packet of biscuits from a store besides my office. I paid 20 rupees for this packet. It was a simple scan and pay process, done in less than 5 seconds. But here's what actually happened in those 5 seconds. The moment I scan the QR code, my Google Pay app reads the merchant's VPA. VPA is like an email address but for money. Behind the scenes, Google Pay verifies the merchant and checks my bank balance with my bank. Before moving the money, they make sure that it's not a fraud. They also have different types of fraud and security checks. Like, is that really my phone? Do I usually shop here? Is this amount of money normal for me to pay? Everything gets encrypted for security. Then, my payment request reaches Google Pay servers. But Google Pay doesn't actually hold my money. They're just the messenger. They log everything and send it to NPCI. In this process, they're burning money in the form of cloud servers, bandwidth, and security monitoring. Now, talking about NPCI, think of it as a national highway but for digital money transactions. It identifies who I bank with. In my case, that's HDFC. And who the merchant's bank is. In that case, it's SBI. They run massive data centers and process thousands of transactions per second and maintain real-time backups. All of this costs money. But the thing is, NPCI doesn't actually disclose how much money it costs them to run all of this. Experts suggest that it's around 60 to 70 paise per transaction. Coming back to my transaction. Now my bank, HDFC, steps in. They verify if I'm their customer and check if my bank balance is enough to send money and deduct it. Then they deduct the 20 rupees, update the records, and send me an SMS that this has happened. That SMS alone costs 12 paise. Then HDFC confirms it to NPCI that the money has been debited. NPCI now tells SBI to credit this amount to the merchant. SBI verifies this merchant, adds 20 rupees to their account, and again sends them a message which costs 12 paise. The merchant sees the money instantly hit their bank account. Success messages flow back and forth through the system. Each system logs everything for audits. I see the green tick that the payment has been made. But the thing is, the actual money has not moved yet. That would move later in the night during settlement. And all of this also has overhead costs like electricity for servers, reconciliation software licenses, and payment gateway fees. Now, since the exact figures for all of this are not out, industry experts have been speculating around a number. They say that all of this process costs anywhere between 80 paise to 1.5 rupees. We have shared a breakdown of the percentage of who ends up paying how much for one UPI transaction. It's on your screen right now. In India, the government mandates zero charges on UPI for users. And these players have effectively been paying all of this money out of their pocket for each UPI transaction that takes place in this country. And this is exactly what's keeping these UPI payment platforms and bankers up at night. As of June 2025, India processes over 60 crore UPI transactions every single day. That means if the transaction cost is around 1.5 rupees, our banks and UPI platforms are collectively spending over 90 crore rupees in a single day to maintain these systems. That's around 2,700 crores every month and 32,850 crores in a single year. And here's what makes India truly unique, because we are the only major economy in this world who does not charge for digital transactions to the end user. In US, UK, Singapore, Australia, China, etc., instant payment systems appear to be free, but the costs are simply absorbed by banks, merchants, or the payment aggregators and are passed down to the customer in the form of various fees. But in India, it is truly free for all customers. And this has happened because when UPI was launched in India, the government didn't want to build a system that was profitable but used by a few people. What they wanted to build was a system that was free for all, that could bring financial inclusion to crores of Indians who were unbanked. And the system has clearly worked wonderfully, with crores of Indians making multiple UPI transactions every single day. But while the government celebrates UPI as India's gift to the world, there's a different conversation happening in boardrooms. Since March 2023, bankers and UPI platforms have been lobbying the RBI and NPCI to let them charge some amount for UPI transactions, because otherwise the whole system would be unsustainable for them in the long run. On your screen, you can actually see numbers, how much these banks might be burning every year just to keep up the UPI transactions going. The same story is of UPI aggregators like Google Pay, PhonePe, Paytm, etc. And it seems like the RBI is listening to these people. In a recent press conference, RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra openly said that UPI cannot remain free forever. And at some point, someone will have to bear the cost of it. The message is clear. The free ride has an expiry date, and starting 1st of August 2025, ICICI Bank became the first in India to act. They're charging payment aggregators for UPI transactions. If the payment aggregator holds an escrow account with ICICI, they'll be charged 2 basis points per transaction. If not, they'll be charged 4 basis points. Other banks are also lining up to do the same. Although these fees don't hit the users at the moment, but it does squeeze the payment aggregators. And as they absorb the cost, they are likely to pass it on to merchants and eventually, if the RBI listens, even the customers. But what we learned so far is the fact that UPI actually worked in India because it was free. People are not going to use UPI anymore if they have to end up paying it out of their pockets. This is the time it took you to complete this video. In this time, these many UPI transactions have happened, and the cost behind them is this much. Do you think you'd still pay for UPI if you had to bear this cost? Let us know in the comments. See you on the other side.